Here is an example of the way Beacon uses clear, striking and engaging visuals to explain GMAT's concepts. Today, we're looking at sentence correction. Here is an example of a sentence correction question. The underlined portion, the portion of the sentence we are looking to correct, is long, which can make this seem daunting. But at Beacon, we will teach you a number of approaches to spot errors and tackle these seemingly daunting questions. As is always the case on the GMAT, answer option A is the same as the sentence in the question. In this video, we'll talk about the question and answer option A interchangeably. First, we can look for quantity errors. Quantity errors are typically a good place to start because they lead an answer option to be unambiguously either right or wrong. Compare those to parallelism errors, where the answer options lie more on a spectrum. It is possible for some answers to be more right than others without being completely right themselves. We'll start by highlighting all the words that are impacted by quantity. Take, for example, the word was. We would say, she was stargazing, if the subject was singular, and they were stargazing, if the subject was plural. The word was is impacted by quantity. Compare that to the word spotted. We would say, she spotted the owl, and we would also say, they spotted the owl. The word spotted is not impacted by quantity. Quickly glancing through, we can find two words impacted by quantity, are and was. Let's now look at the answer options. And there's a difference. We can either say are now called or is now called. Which is correct? Well, the subject of the sentence, the thing that is being called, are bacteria. Bacteria are plural. The singular form of bacteria is bacterium. So the singular is incorrect. It should be the plural are. We can eliminate an answer option. Let's move on. One of the most frequent error types on the GMAT relates to parallelism. In this question, we have this list. The items in this list are decently parallel. First, we have the name of the individual, then we have where they come from, and finally we have their profession. Let's now look at the answer options. In answer option D, we lose the parallelism. Of Dutch origin isn't as parallel as what we have in the original question. Note that it's not wrong per se, it's just not as parallel as answer option A. The parallelism of the other answer options isn't perfect, but they're the best available options. As we said, parallelism errors exist on a spectrum. There isn't a clear right or wrong, but some answer options are less right than others. And in this case, D is not as right as the other answer options. So we'll actually eliminate answer option D. Now, before we move on, a quick note. If we bring back answer options B and D, the two we eliminated, you'll see that answer option B also makes the error that was present in answer option D. This is normal. There are often multiple reasons to eliminate an answer option. We're down to 3. It's time to talk about one of the more esoteric things tested on the GMAT, the past perfect tense. We all know the present tense, and we know the past tense, as well as the future tense. But there is a fourth tense. This is the tense for what happens before the past. It's the past of the past. It is the past perfect tense. We spend a lot more time explaining this in Beacon's core course, but for the purposes of this video, just note that in answer option C, when it says had spotted, this is an example of the past perfect tense, and in this case, it is being used inappropriately. So we can eliminate it. Now we're down to two fairly similar answer options. The only real difference is that one says was instrumental in realizing, while the other says realized. The two mean somewhat different things, but the GMAT typically is willing to tolerate meaning changes if it leads to a better sentence. In general, the GMAT prefers more concise answer options. Given that E is less wordy than A, we would lean towards E. E also has the advantage of being more parallel. With E, we now have a scientist who published, another who spotted, and yet another who realized. For all these reasons, E is the right answer option. This question, by the way, discusses real historical figures who were on the path to discovering germ theory. This video was an example of how Beacon approaches client service. Reach us through our website at www.beacon.community.